So how do you exactly lose stubborn body fat? Now in this video I'm gonna help you losing the extra fat that is left when dieting. As if you are experiencing dieting, then you would know that in the beginning it's an easy phase to lose weight depending on how much calorie you consume, and you are quite motivated and it's quite easy to get disciplined and lower calories, etc. However, you will find that as the time goes, then it becomes harder to lose extra fat, and especially in the end when you're below 15% body fat or like 13% body fat, then it becomes really hard to lose that extra body fat, especially the fat that will allow you to show your abs and show your six-pack, or even just getting a flat stomach would be hard. So by now I'm assuming that you're aware that you need to be in a caloric deficit. So obviously to lose weight, as you may know, you need to consume less calories than you spend. So for example, if you're spending 2000 calories a day, you need to consume less. So consume like 1900 up to 1500 calories, depending on how fast you want to lose weight. And obviously don't go above 500 calories in deficit, because to have a safer weight loss and not lose a lot of muscle, then I suggest to go as low as a deficit as you can. So for example 100 to 200, or I would say a maximum of 300 would be more than sufficient to lose fat safely and preserve muscle mass. And definitely don't go above 500 calorie deficit, so this way you can avoid losing tons of muscle as well. Now after this point, there's something that a lot of people don't know, and that is that as you lose weight, then you should progressively recalculate how much calories you need. Okay, so for example, if in the beginning you weighed 100 kilograms, like 220 pounds, so by weighing more, actually you spend more calories just because of the extra weight and the extra fat that you have. So the more you weigh, the more calories you spend, the more your metabolism spends calories, and this basic metabolism decreases as your weight decreases. Or if you would gain weight, then the metabolism would increase. So for example, if you weighed, like I said, 100 kilograms, then for example, let's say your metabolism to sustain the maintenance weight, then it would be like, let's say 2000 calories just for maintenance. Okay, so you would need to eat less than 2000 calories to lose weight. However, as time goes and you lose a lot of weight, let's say you go down to 90 kilograms, so you lost 10 kilograms of fat and maybe a bit of muscle, but anyways, so 10 kilograms or 22 pounds, then you would need, maybe your metabolism would go down to like 1900 for maintenance, or 1800, something like this. And when you reach 85 kilograms, then your caloric maintenance would go down even more, like to, let's say, 1800, 1750 something, so etc. You get the idea. So obviously this is the first point. You would need to gradually decrease the caloric intake by a little bit. Don't go crazy over this, don't go to the extreme, just by a little bit as time goes by and as you start losing a lot of weight. And so I responded actually to someone in the comments in one of my videos. So these are some of the advices I gave him, and they are really important advices that I found throughout the years help me and my clients a lot. And I believe they are the secrets to losing the stubborn body fat and the belly fat as well in the end. Because as you may know, you cannot target a specific area of fat gain. So I mean by that you cannot target, for example, the lower belly or the glutes. So you may know that you cannot target a specific area. And so hopefully these tips will help you lose that stubborn body fat and belly fat, etc. So this first tip, you should really take close attention to it, because a lot of people are unaware or don't pay attention to this reality. So now let's go to the second important thing, And so for the first important thing, as I mentioned, you need to make sure that you recalculate the maintenance caloric number and that it's adjusted to your current diet. The second thing you would need to do is to monitor the weight loss and your weight management with not only the weight balances, like the weighing machines, but also by taking your belly, your stomach, lower stomach measurements, so the waist size. This is probably the most important thing that you need to check and monitor when losing weight or also gaining weight, as this is a direct indication of body fat percentage. So for example, if you weigh 200 pounds but your waist size is like, let's say 80 centimeters, then your body fat percentage is pretty low. However, if you weigh 200 pounds but your waist size is like 100 centimeters, so like 20 more centimeters, then your body fat percentage is pretty high. So during your weight loss journey, you need to really monitor the waist size. This is probably the most important measurement, because weight, how much you weight, doesn't really indicate anything. It could be muscle loss, it could be fat loss, it could be even water retention loss. Like for example, when you eat a lot of salty stuff, you gain a lot of water retention, or also when using creatine, you have a lot of water retention. So weight alone doesn't mean anything. So you really need, what's really important to measure and to take close attention to, is the waist size. Now the next point, the third point, would be that in my 15 years of experience of doing bulks and cut cycles, was that my best results were when adding cardio. Now regarding this, there's an important point to make, that regardless of cardio or not, what really matters is obviously the caloric deficit. So for example, I could train for hours a day, like 3-4 hours a day, but still be at maintenance weight, or even sometimes gain weight during bulks. That is because I consumed a lot more calories. For example, if I would train 5 hours or 4 hours with lots of cardio, I could gain weight by eating like a cheat meal on cheat meal days, like 3,500 calories, something like this. Okay, but cardio does help, and I would say my best advice regarding cardio is obviously you need the caloric deficit, but when you add cardio, you get the best results, and the best results are when doing cardio after the workout. So now I have a video about why it's better to do your cardio after working out. So you should definitely check this video. But I would say in resume that when doing exercise, then first you do not actually burn fat. Okay, so to lose the fat and start burning the fat when exercising, according to studies, and these are pretty old studies, it's quite an old fact actually, that bodybuilders have been using for decades. And when I personally used it myself and recommended it to clients, then the results were much better. For example, my 2 best cuts ever were like my first one when I first did it, like 13-14 years ago, when I did use this method, and the second best loss that I had, and that revealed muscles from the stomach, like abs, 6-pack abs almost, and a flat stomach, was also this year when I also used this method almost religiously. Like, didn't really do it every day like I did it the first time over a decade ago, but I still did it a lot and had my best results, as I mentioned, since over a decade, and actually got my stomach for the first time below 80 centimeters of waist size. It went down to a low of 77 centimeters. And again, as I mentioned, all I did was add some cycling after the workout. Some cycling and a little bit of cardio after the workout. And you can even do not that high intensity of cardio, just like let's say 30 minutes cycling, 1 hour cycling, even low intensity cardio, like no need to do like HIIT, like high intensity cardio kind of stuff. Even low intensity cardio, I can see that, as I mentioned, it gave me results to 77 centimeters of waistline, when during the past years my maximum that I reached, without of course using this method of cardio after workouts, the maximum I reached was like 83 centimeters, and I couldn't go past it. So yeah, in resume, as I mentioned, with the caloric deficit, of course, you want first of all the caloric deficit, because otherwise it would be useless. Then I have had the greatest success in losing the belly fat, even the stubborn one, okay? And it's probably the first time since like over a decade that I'm at about 10% body fat, and the flat stomach again, as I mentioned. Regarding the diet, you can check out my video on the current diet I did for this greatest cutting phase I ever did. I have a video about it that I recorded a few months ago. You can check it out. It's really helpful and has a lot of good tips. And my biggest advice regarding the diet would be to have as much protein as possible, to avoid losing as much muscle as possible. And regarding the fat and carbs, then just make sure that you're below caloric maintenance, and that's it. You don't really have to care about whether it's carbs or fats. My diet is pretty diversified. Sometimes I have tons of fat, sometimes tons of carbs. It worked pretty well. All that matters is the caloric deficit, and as I mentioned, what helped really lose the extra body fat and belly fat was the cardio after workouts, because as I mentioned, is the only period of time when your body is burning fat. So after like 30 or 45 minutes of training, then this is when the body starts burning fat. So after like 45 minutes of training, then this is the time that you should be doing and focusing on cardio. And try it for yourself, you will be quite surprised. Try it for a month or 2 months, and I'm pretty sure you will have results. And I did it 2 times, almost religiously, as I said, and the results, as I mentioned, were much better. So I believe for myself that this is actually a fact, that after 45 minutes of exercising, then your body starts burning fat. So this is why this is the best period of time to lose or to do cardio, and it even helped with losing stubborn belly fat also. And this is the only thing pretty much that worked during my lifetime. I saw and witnessed that really worked to lose the belly fat, the stubborn belly fat in the end, when you cannot lose anymore. And you can even ask the competition bodybuilders, the professional ones kinda, and pretty much all of them will tell you the same, that they do cardio just like that in the end of workouts, especially when they are cutting, so especially when they want to get lean. And lastly, you could also add green tea, things like green tea and caffeine, which both increase metabolism and are said to have also some other fat burning benefits. You can also add omega-3 foods. I have a video on the 4 foods that trigger fat loss, because omega-3 triggers fat loss, as you can see in the video as it's explained. Obviously you need the caloric deficit though. That's, as I said, the first priority you need to have in check. And also you could add the coconut oil, because coconut oil, according to real studies have shown that it helps targeting the belly fat. So it's one of the only things proven to target body fat loss. Belly fat, targeting belly fat loss. So coconut oil is one of the only ones that help for this. So hope you have enough information and tips. So if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. And if you are new to the channel, then I'm uploading daily and have tons of other helpful tips. So thanks for watching, take care and see you next time.